Ugh, I feel terrible. By the gods, I want this to stop. But I guess I should just stay happy that I'm still able to breathe. In my attempt to make this stop, I made a sacrifice to Apollon. He might be able to control disease, but he is also the one to cure it. We gathered 10 wolves hoping it would be enough. An offering larger than what we've ever made before while campaigning. An entire month went by till I finally felt the warmth of a holy hand above me. It must be a gift from the god of medicine himself. With its quick visit I had recovered. The sacrifice worked, meaning I finally could return to the battlefield once again. I rejoined my army at Ankara, where I was enlisted. The first thing I did in my return was ordering the newly acquired homesteads in southern Galatia to produce crops for our kingdom. Next was to make the final preparations for our campaign into Pessinus. One of my generals were already besieging the town, keeping them occupied. But my forces were needed to storm the settlement. This was the last town of the Lydians, because Ptolemy II and his forces had already taken Epirus. We couldn't allow them to take this one as well. After another month passed, we were finally in position to make our move. I'll spare you the details of this one, as it was pretty simple. They sallied out and our men performed flawlessly. With all of our combined holdings, we were at last recognized as Diadochi. The smallest one, but still, I couldn't complain. Till we regain the title from Mithridates, we'll have to make do with what we got. By now, I finally got the time to work on our income. The Rhodians have attacked Pergamon plenty of times by now, but we've repelled them every time with the assistance of a bunch of mercenaries. Yet we couldn't continue with this kind of reckless expenditure, so we've disbanded them and their heavy upkeep in exchange for a navy to finally take the battle to the warring islanders. And also to plan ahead of time, I wanted to initiate the construction of a temple of Hephaestus in Pessinus. I had 3 key arguments for this. 1. To honor the mighty god. 2. To gain his blessing for construction, which we were about to do a lot of in the near future. And 3. Because we would encourage people to buy our industrialized resources, meaning more profit for our future expansion. But not much time went by till I got restless again. It was just a matter of time before the Rhodians would strike back at us. But if we got to them first, we could potentially save hundreds of people. Erasmus, the Rhodian Warmonger, must have heard of my position as he tried to bypass our location by using ships. This was bad, of course, but now we had free passage to the island, which we gladly would take. On our travels, we actually found Erasmus hiding in the mountains, but he was too scared to face us, so we left him there while we sailed for Rhodes, their home. It was quite a rough journey, with us losing a lot of men while crossing the ocean. But we finally got there, meaning we could make a devastating blow at the heart of our enemy. As we have seen, the majority of the enemy forces were out campaigning, leaving the settlement essentially undefended. The small garrison that remained made the honorable choice to face us on the field outside of the town. This way most citizens would be spared. Now we just needed to defeat them. valiant attempt was to no success, as they got surrounded, and with nowhere to run, the lost troops gave up, joining our side. I honestly thought this would be the last of them, yet the army that bypassed us previously besieged Pergamon, our capital. This was their third attempt to take the city, but failed once again. Sadly, fourth time is the charm, meaning the proud capital of Pergamon fell in the hands of Rhodes. With all haste, I force marched my army into position so we could take it back. Hunt down Erasmus, who was still roaming inside our territory, and finally get a bit of peace in our lands. Once he was gone, we were finally free to do whatever we wanted. Kind of. We might have kicked out the Seleucians and their useless vassals, who honestly weren't that hard to beat. But I fear we made a deal with the god of trickery, Dolos. He fooled us to believe we could trust the Ptolemies. But now they act as if they were our overlords, being a constant thorn in our side, and not just the Seleucids anymore. Damn those people who think they deserve to rule over my grandfather's empire. Pathetic. We should have seen this coming, as they constantly tried to bribe us. Us accepting this might have made us look weak, encouraging them to do it. But there is still a solution to this. As Alexander proved when he conquered that area, they would just surrender to his will without much of a fight, as he was seen as a liberator. Someday we could do the same. Free the Egyptians from the Ptolemaic pretenders and reach a godlike status. Oh, what am I saying? Sorry, Zeus. I didn't mean to aspire to become one of you. I will not make the same mistake that eventually poisoned my grandfather's soul. Greed is a terrible way to die, or live with for that matter. Just like Narcissus. Oh, I feel bad for that man. And then again,